Hello and welcome to the AFC Dons Cast. This week the Dons came away with a win at Pittodrie on Saturday against St Johnstone. We have post-match reaction with Rob Maclean, Stevie, Tosh and Jim Goodwin coming up. Aberdeen Women were back in action in the Women's Scottish Cup on Sunday. We have the pre-match thoughts of Gavin Levey. Plus we hear from a couple of our new signings, returning Graeme, Shinnie and Patrik Myslovič. And to round it all off, a quick update from the rest of the matches in the SPFL at the weekend and some supporters news in there as well. This is the AFC Dons Cast from the Inverness Reds.
Big news is here. Premier Sports becomes Viaplay. This means the same sports as before, but topped up with more premium sports rights. Plus, a new top streaming service filled with films, series and documentaries. All new entertainment for the same old price. See you on Viaplay.
Hello and welcome to the AFC Dons Cast on Tuesday the 10th of January. It's Graeme here with your weekend roundup. The Red Army made a welcome return to Graeme Shinnie, who went straight into the starting lineup against St Johnstone on Saturday. And truly, it was like he was never away, making his influence on the team from the get-go. But it was 2 second-half goals that ended our run of 5 winless matches. It did look as if this one was going to end out the same as our New Year encounter against Ross County. Plenty of possession, but our chances in front of goal were not taken. We could have been 1-0 up in the first half. A clever free kick fell to Duke, who took a well-taken goal, but it was ruled out by VAR for offside, while Majowski missed 3 good chances. Our second half performance was worse than our first until a breakthrough. Duke latched onto a long ball to put it past Remy Matthews to score the opener in the 74th minute. Then 10 minutes later he scored his second and his 11th goal of the season from a corner to make it 2-0. A welcome win for Jim Goodwin as we head into the semi-final League Cup action next weekend.
Aberdeen finally have got their first win since the World Cup break, their first win of course of 2023 as well. Rob Maclean and Stevie Tosh watching Aberdeen beat St Johnstone by 2-0, and it was a Duke double in the second half, which the goals coming along at a stage when Aberdeen were maybe struggling a little, having been impressive first half, played a lot of good football, couldn't find the back of the net. They did once, of course it was ruled out by VAR, and it was Duke with his 10th and 11th Aberdeen goals which eventually got the job done. Yeah, they did. You know, I thought we played really, really well the first 45. You know, slightly fell out in the second half without St Johnstone creating very many chances, but you know, Duke to the rescue. You know, probably not one of his best games in a red shirt, but who cares at the end of the day? You know, it's 2 goals, 2 good finishes, and we get the 3 points. We saw Graeme Shinnie in the frame there, Andy Considine, a former Don, on the losing side for St Johnstone, and the return of Shinnie is significant, isn't it? I think so. You know, we're never sure, you know, how Graeme was going to be when he came back. He left here at 27, returned at 31, you know, but he's a consummate professional. You know, I thought he drove us forward today. I thought, you know, along with Ross McCrory, I thought he was our best player, you know, for the 90. You know, I think that obviously, hopefully Connor will learn a wee bit from him as well, but I did think Ramadani and obviously Graeme in there give us a wee bit extra bit of steel and give us a wee bit of protection in front of the back four. An important win for all sorts of reasons, gets Aberdeen that little bit closer to Hearts with them drawing in Paisley, and of course ahead of a League Cup semi-final against Rangers next weekend. That just restores a little bit of confidence. It does. You know, I think that we can bar it up anyway
we want, but after the Rangers game, when we hear what happened in the last couple of minutes, we've been poor the next 3 games in essence, that we've taken 1 point for 9 against obviously St Mirren, Kilmarnock, then Ross County. So it was a big game today, it was a huge game for the players, but also for Jim and also with the fans. So you'd never want to go into a semi-final on the back of maybe another defeat. So as we say, it was nice to get the 3 points, it was nice to get a clean sheet, it was nice to get the 2 goals for Duke, and it gives Jim some thought processes building into next week, as they're training, as to how he wants to go and set up against Rangers, and how he thinks we're going to get the right result in the semi-final.
Great to restore that winning feeling. Aberdeen 2, St Johnstone 0.
Jim, how does it feel to rediscover the winning feeling?
Feels great, obviously. It's been long waited. The players are obviously very pleased in there at the fact that we've managed to get back to winning ways. We felt we should have won the game on Monday against Ross County. We had plenty of opportunities to do that, but for one reason or another, we weren't able to. Today, after the first 45 minutes, you kind of started to feel, was this going to be a similar game to what we saw on Monday, where we're dominating the game, we're getting in good areas, creating good opportunities. When the goal gets chalked out for offside, you start to think about, are we going to have another one of those days? But in fairness to the players, they didn't allow that to affect them. They kept going. In the second half, the game did get a little bit scrappy, I have to say. I thought for as much of the control we had in the first half, we stopped passing the ball the way that we did. I think maybe a little bit of tension, maybe a little bit of nerves, given the magnitude of the game in terms of us trying to get back to winning ways. But fair play to the players. They stuck at it, and all importantly, found a way to win the game.
Yeah, that was the difference, wasn't it? There were similarities maybe in the second half from the Ross County game to this one as well. A couple of chances came along in that game, not taken. This time they were taken, making all the difference.
Yeah, look, I thought we were comfortable throughout the game, really. I can't remember Kel Roos having anything to do. I thought the back four, again, were excellent. That's another clean sheet now, back-to-back, which is something that we haven't done a lot of this season. It's something we've been working hard on, and, full credit to all of the players, really. When you keep clean sheets, it tends to be the back four and the goalkeeper who gets the credit. But I think the work rate at the top end of the pitch, the guys in the middle of the park, all put in a shift for the team today. And listen, the result was always going to be more important than the performance. But obviously, we want to try and get the both of them to a line where we play really well and win. But look, it's 3 points. It's a victory. We've had to wait a little while for it, so it's pleasing that we can send the supporters home with a smile on their face today, as opposed to what we've seen recently.
That's number 10 and 11 for the Dons for Duke in terms of goals. Could have been another one as well, but for a smidgen and VAR in the first half. It's a great total, isn't it, for a guy who hasn't always played in the main striking position?
Well, yeah, it's a great return for any attacking player. And, when, Majovski is going through the kind of barren spell that he's going through at the moment, it's really important that other players step up to the plate. And thankfully, today, Duke done that. He took the responsibility and he was a match winner today. But listen, I think some of the recruitment that we've done in the summer has been excellent. And some of the players that we've brought in have exceeded expectations. Duke was playing reserve team football for Benfica last season. But Darren Mowbray spotted him. We watched plenty of video footage of him. We've seen huge potential there. If we could work hard with him in the training pitch, get him a little bit fitter, a little bit sharper, then we felt there was a player there. So he has really, exceeded what we thought he was going to do at this early stage of his Aberdeen career. But there's a number of other good players in there as well that we brought to the club, and I think there's been a number of very good individual performances from likes of Ramadani and Shinnie in the middle of the pitch, who added that little bit of composure and that little bit of strength in there. As I said, the back four were excellent, another clean sheet. So really, really pleased. We're not going to get carried away. At the end of the day, our points return since after coming back after the World Cup hasn't been good enough. But hopefully today the players will take confidence from that and we can look forward to the semi-final now next Sunday.
Well done, Jim. Thanks.
Okay, thanks, Rob.
Catch live audio and video of our next match only on Red TV. Subscribe now for full Matchday coverage, replays, highlights and all the goals, exclusive interviews and behind the scenes content. Sign up now at redtv.afc.co.uk. The best of the action only on Red TV.
In the other matches at the weekend in the SPFL, Celtic had a 2-0 home win over Kilmarnock, with Jota breaking the deadlock, and Livingston were 2-0 winners over Ross County in Dingwall. St Mirren drew 1-1 with third place Hearts in Paisley. Simon Murray scored 4 times as Queen's Park thrashed Cove Rangers 6-0 at the Balmoral Stadium to go 4 points clear at the top of the Championship. Ayr United beat bottom club Hamilton Accies 1-0 at Somerset Park, and Partick Thistle overcame Morton 2-1 at Firhill. Inverness Cali Thistle dismissed Arbroath 4-1 at Gayfield to boost their playoff hopes. Dunfermline Athletic are 4 points clear at the top of League One after beating closest challengers FC Edinburgh 1-0 at Meadowbank. Falkirk beat Montrose 2-1, and Airdrieonians netted 3 late goals in a 3-0 victory at bottom club Peterhead. Alloa Athletic beat Queen of the South 2-1 at Palmerston, and Kelty Hearts defeated Clyde 2-1 at New Douglas Park. The top of the table clash between Dumbarton and Stirling Albion in League 2 was postponed due to a waterlogged pitch. Albion Rovers moved off the bottom of the table at the expense of Bonnyrigg Rose after winning 4-0 at New Dundas Park. East Fife won 2-1 at Elgin City, and Forfar Athletic saw off Annan Athletic 2-0 at Galabank. And Stenhousemuir moved above Stranraer thanks to a 2-1 victory at Oakview. On Sunday in the Premiership, Rangers had a 2-0 win over Dundee United at Tannadice. In the early game, Hibs defeated Motherwell 3-2 at Fir Park thanks to a Kevin Nisbet hat-trick to move to within a point of the top 6.
More Don's News straight after this.
You know this bloke, right? And this fella? Yes! They were mates on the gram, and they've got a few quid, so they thought they'd buy a football club in a town they'd never been to, over 5,000 miles from home. As you do.
My mind was racing when I learned about the English system. Can't you theoretically take a team that's in the lowest league and bring them to the top?
The outside world thinks Wrexham is about sheep, and more sheep. But we've got history, a mighty town built on the back of iron and coal, and pride in our club. The third oldest in the world. We've invited Europe's finest, and Arsenal, to the racecourse. And now we've got hope. Mind you, they say it's the hope that kills you. Unless the meat pies get you first. Minging. We've also got the fans.
You'll have what people call the happy clappers. You have moaning supporters like me. Every club has hooligans.
The community of Wrexham will not mince words.
What's Wrexham like? Don't go, it's a load of rubbish.
I love that.
All told, these Yanks have got the town absolutely buzzing. School kids rapping, this nutter got a tattoo. Trips to Wembley, last-minute winners. That's David bloody Beckham. Go on, lad. Even Maureen's getting involved. Let's have it, Maureen. FX's Welcome to Wrexham. Premieres tonight at 10 on FX. Stream on Hulu.
And Wrexham's got hope. Meat pie, sheep and the fans from Rob Maclean and Ryan Reynolds comes Welcome to Wrexham. Watch now on Disney+. Aberdeen Women were back in action after the winter break in the Women's Scottish Cup against Hutchison Vale on Sunday. Prior to the match, Gavin Levey previewed the game.
For us, we've got to go in and try and build on that Spartans performance, which was good, but it could be better. And that's what we're using this game as. It's a chance to build again, and hopefully a chance for us to get a win, get through to the next round of the cup, and also try and get a bit of momentum going, in the weeks to come, where we find ourselves at home for the next 2 games after it as well. I think we've just got to do what we've got to do, and that's get round everyone together and try and get the best out of every single training session that we have, or every analysis session that we have, or team meeting, I think the people that I'm working with, Mark, Claire, Beth, obviously the physio, and Matthew Mackey, the goalkeeping coach, we are people who don't do anything by half. If we're going to do something, we're going to do it properly, and we're going to give our absolute all to this. So we see this period as a project, but a project that everyone I've mentioned there is 100% dedicated to, and I think that's probably rubbing off a little bit on the girls just now, because they seem to come in and cross that line at 7:30 at training nights and just give their absolute all. And like I say, I think we were all gutted that we didn't get that crack at Rangers, who are arguably at the moment the top team in the country.
And so it was. Aberdeen sealed our place in the next round of the Women's Scottish Cup with a comfortable 2-0 win over Hutchison Vale in their 100th competitive match. Gavin Levey fielded a strong side despite a mixture of injury and illness, meaning several squad regulars were unavailable for the game. Ailey Shore, Donna Patterson, Eva Thompson and Francesca Ogilvie were all absent. Midfielders Brodie Greenwood and Natasha Bruce came in for their second start to the season in the heart of the side. Hannah Stewart joined Bailey Hutchison up front as Lauren Campbell once again captained the team. Goals either side of half-time from Bailey Hutchison and Maya Christie were enough for the victory over a spirited Vale side to book a place in the fifth round.
All the latest transfer news. The AFC Donscast Transfer Centre.
Our first bit of activity in the January transfer window saw the return of Graeme Shinnie to the club on loan and to the end of the season from Wigan Athletic. Here he is with Mal.
Well, Graeme, welcome home.
Thank you.
How does it feel to be an Aberdeen player again?
A bit surreal, exciting. It's obviously changed a lot with the training ground since I was here, so it's really good to see where the club is now from when I left, and yeah, exciting challenge ahead.
I say it's a welcome home, of course, here at Cormac Park. The training ground that you were promised for all those years, what have you made of it, your first look around?
Amazing. Like I said, to see from where we were back then, taking minibuses out to the barracks and wherever else we used to go, to now see this is unbelievable, and I'm sure all the players and staff appreciate how important it is and important to have it. So yeah, very impressed.
Quite a few changes to the squad though, I'd imagine. I can't. How many of the guys are still here? Maybe Joe will be the only one?
I reckon Joe and Johnny maybe the only
Johnny, of course,
two that were here. I know a couple of the other ones, Marley and Keller as well, so be good to meet them.
But you played with Keller, of course, at Derby, didn't you? He's a good goalkeeper, isn't he?
Great guy, good goalkeeper, tall, bit of a presence, a good shot stopper, and yeah, all round good guy. So looking forward to meeting up with him again and meeting up with the lads.
I mean, you literally just come in the building. Have you had a chance to even speak to any of the guys? Did you tell them you were coming?
I spoke to Keller on the phone on my drive up, but apart from that, I've not really spoke to any of the other lads, but get to meet them all tomorrow at training, so looking forward to it.
Listen, I know there's other people waiting to see you, so really appreciate your time. Just finally, what message would you have for the fans? I know you've had a fantastic relationship with them in the past and hopefully going forward as well.
Yeah, just delighted to be back. It'll be a massive excitement to see them all on Saturday at home at Pittodrie, and yeah, get behind the lads. I'll do my best, the lads will do their best to change the results around, and yeah, positive times.
Graeme, great to be back, mate.
Thanks, pal.
Then, hot on the heels of Graeme returning, was the signing of Patrik Myslovič, also on loan from MSK Zelina till the end of the season. The Dons will have an exclusive option to acquire the 21-year-old on a permanent basis this summer. The highly rated midfielder made his senior debut at 17 years old and has played over 100 senior top-flight games despite his young age. He has also captained the side.
Patrik, a very warm welcome to Aberdeen Football Club. How has your first day been in Scotland, in Aberdeen? Have you enjoyed it?
Yes, first day is very good. I'm very happy to be here, and I'm very excited to start training and to play matches.
Yeah. Now today, I know you had a little look around the stadium, Pittodrie Stadium.
Yes, I was in Pittodrie Stadium. Then I was to see my apartment, and now I'm here to do medical test.
I know you've had a very busy day, so we won't keep you too long, but we wanted to introduce you to the fans. Just why Scotland? Why did you want to come here?
Because first, when I heard about Aberdeen has interest to me, immediately I knew I want to play here and for this big club.
Tell the fans a little bit about your career. I mean, you made your debut at 16, is that right?
My debut was when I was 17. So I played in Žilina, and from Žilina my career will continue here.
But I mean, you're still very young, but you have played a lot of games. You have a lot of experience.
Yes, because this is based on in Žilina on this to give a chance to young players. So I'm thankful to Žilina to have this opportunity, and thanks to this I can be here now.
You can listen to extended interviews with Graeme and Patrik on Red TV. And in another bit of good news, Leighton Clarkson will be staying with the Dons until the end of the season. It was suggested that Clarkson could return to Anfield following the arrival of Patrik Myslovič. But Jim Goodwin has revealed that Liverpool are delighted with his progress and are not looking to bring him back during this window. In addition, there's no break clause on Hayden Coulson's loan with us, so he'll be staying till the end of the season too. And Celtic have assured the club that Liam Scales will be able to stay beyond the window as well. And making waves in England is on loan Dean Campbell. Dean, who is currently playing for League Two side Stevenage, was instrumental in their 2 goals against Aston Villa in the FA Cup on Sunday. The first after he was taken down in the box, securing a penalty in the 88th minute of the game, Jamie Reid scoring from the spot, before Dean fired in a 90th minute winner to make it 2-1 to secure a 4th round tie against Championship side Stoke City. The power of football reaches far beyond the pitch. Football can change lives, and indeed it can save lives. Football saved Paul McNeil's life, and this is his story.
Football saved my life because it gave me the drive, the determination and the passion to be successful. But it also gave me the friends and the camaraderie you need in life, that when you're challenged, you've got something to fall back on. When I was 22 years of age, my father committed suicide. Maybe the most devastating moment in my life. I didn't know what to do, but I was lucky that all these friends and people that I'd met in football stretched out to me. I'm dyslexic and I learn a little bit differently. A teacher told me that I was a problem child, that I would amount to nothing, and I really shouldn't dream too high. It was just tough at school. I was bullied and teased, but lucky enough for me, it was 1982, and it was a World Cup in Spain, and I always remember it so well that there was this kind of magical moment in my life where I found football. When I found out I could play and I could run about on a football pitch, it just became a safety zone for me. These kind of white lines of safety, I would cross over them and I would just have so much fun, and all the teasing and bullying and everything else could just go away. In 1987, I'm a Paisley boy and I'm a big St Mirren fan, and my dad took me to the 87 Cup final, and when St Mirren won, he lifted me above his head and said, "We did it, me man." And it was the most magical moment in my whole life. But of course, you went back to Monday morning and just the hardship of school and the bullying and everything else that went on. One Saturday, about 3 weeks after burying my dad, I got a phone call, and it was from the guy that ran my football team. He said, "Wee man, we're coming to get you and you're playing on Saturday." I said, "I don't think I'm very ready for that." He says, "We're coming to get you, wee man, don't worry about it." And I went and I played this game of football, and I was 9 again. I was running about as if I didn't have a care in the world. I walked off that football pitch that day. I just felt good about myself. I just had good people and friends round about me, and as I walked up to the change room, a person who I've never met from the opposition team, I didn't know who he was, just wandered up beside me and said, "Well played today, wee man." He put his arm around me and he said, "I heard about your dad. My brother committed suicide. You're going to be okay, because we've got your back." And I just stopped and I just thought, how lucky am I to have all these friends? How lucky was I to find a sport that in your darkest day will look after you? And I decided that moment in my life that something must change. So I did it. I went back to college to try and do something in sports because it was my dream when I was 5. And then life just seemed to just turn for me. It just seemed to be the positivity that I had in my life started to change. And all the time through it, I had friends and people covering my back at my football team saying, "You'll do alright, wee man." I now coach my son's football team, and I watch as my son sometimes struggles at school, having that little bit of a challenge of being dyslexic as well. And sometimes when he comes home and he's not had a good day at school, I say, "Mum, we'll go and get the ball, wee man." And the smile comes on his face. And he's 87 again. It's the cup final. I just see him just being happy and content. And when I coach his team, I just see all these wee young boys want to have a dream. And it's my job to give them that. As every volunteer gave me mine. As every day I felt bad about myself, they patted me on the back and told me I'd be okay. Told told me life would be good. And I just thank every volunteer, every friend I had, because without you, I've no idea where my life would have went. And that's why I love football. That's why I think it saved my life.
If you've been affected by the issues raised in this interview, you can contact Breathing Space free on 0800 83 85 87 or visit breathingspace.scot. So the Dons are in League Cup action against Rangers in the semi-finals at Hampden on Sunday. Kick-off in Glasgow is at 3 p.m. Tickets for the match are still on sale, so be quick to pick them up if you're planning to go. afc.co.uk/e-tickets is the place to order them. And if you can't make it, you can watch the match live on Via Sport 1. Coverage starts at 2:30 p.m. Viaplay is available on Sky, Virgin Media, Prime Video and NetGem TV, and on streaming devices like Chromecast, Apple TV, built-in apps on your telly and on PC, Mac and tablet. It's available for $14.99 for the month, which you can cancel at any time, or $11.99 a month on a 12-month contract. And if you're a Red TV International subscriber, it's a whole lot easier on there. Red TV is the place to be, with coverage starting at 2:45 p.m. The Ada Cup game at the weekend is on Saturday between Celtic and Kilmarnock. Kick-off is at 5:30 p.m. And there's also matches in the Premiership this weekend. On Friday night it's Hearts versus St Mirren at 7:45 p.m. Then on Saturday it's Hibs versus Dundee United, Motherwell versus Ross County and St Johnstone versus Livingston, all 3 p.m. kick-offs. Tickets for our midweek match against Hearts at Tynecastle on the 18th of January are now on sale. We're at the Phase 2 stage as of Tuesday for those with 400 or over priority points, with Phase 3 opening tomorrow morning, Wednesday the 11th of January at 8 a.m. online and 9:30 a.m. by phone or in the ticket office. Ticket prices for the Roseburn Stand Upper are £27 for adults, £19 for over 65s and students, £14 for under 18s, £7 for under 16s and £5 for under 13s, and £15 for wheelchair users, and carers get free of charge. In the lower stand it's £19 for adults, £15 for over 65s and students, £14 for under 18s, £7 for under 16s and £5 for under 13s. You can order your tickets online at afc.co.uk/e-ticket or call 01224 63 1903 or visit the ticket office at Pittodrie. This will be the first full week back at work for some of you, so take it easy, enjoy your week, and I'll be back here next Tuesday with all the post-match League Cup news and more. Till then, thanks for listening, and stand free.
That's all for this week. More Aberdeen news next Tuesday evening from 8.